Hi everybody, it's Honest John again. Now, there's no doubt that the invasion of Iraq was a huge fuck-up. It's hard to say whether it was a bigger fuck-up than Vietnam, but when the Vietnam War happened, we weren't already at war someplace else. Just on its own, invading Iraq was a huge fuck-up, but you also add to that the resources needed in Afghanistan, which were diverted to Iraq, and that compounds it. Not only did George W. Bush blunder into Iraq, but he took his eye off the ball in Afghanistan, letting a lot of stuff fester there, which led to that war being a lot longer than it really needed to be. Now, Republicans are trying to put the blame on Obama, saying that his withdrawal of troops from Iraq is what has led to the problems there, ISIS, all of that kind of thing. This ignores the fact that it was George W. Bush who signed the agreement to withdraw our troops from Iraq. He didn't want to do that, but the government of Nouri al-Maliki wanted us gone. So they demanded that U.S. troops in Iraq be subject to Iraqi law and tried in Iraqi courts, something that no American president could ever agree to. And no amount of diplomacy, no amount of negotiations would have changed that. The only way to keep troops in Iraq would have been to agree to Maliki's terms. And can you imagine the reaction here when American troops would have been tried and hanged by Iraqi courts? So whatever else you might want to say about Obama's errors in the Middle East, and there have been plenty of them, Iraq is George W. Bush's failure, period. And that failure has had repercussions throughout the area. So now we have presidential candidates Jeb Bush and Marco Rubio having a real hard time answering the question, was Iraq a mistake? The obvious answer is yes. But they don't want to alienate the neocon wing of the GOP. So you have people saying, for example, that the world is a better place with Saddam Hussein gone. The fact is that as brutal an asshole as Saddam Hussein was, the world is not a better place with him gone. Saddam kept Iraq stable. He kept a lid on the sectarian tensions that were simmering just below the surface that we took the lid off. But there is another reason neocons don't want to admit that invading Iraq was a mistake, because they want to make an even bigger mistake: going to war with Iran. Thanks for listening.